All right, we are back. You know what it is? I don't know what it is, but we are once again back, ladies and gentlemen. Let's keep it going. All right, welcome back to the show. Once again, it says fake engagement. Maybe there's too much tapping. Is that a thing on TikTok? Can you do too much tapping and then it does the fake engagement? I have no clue, but we got to continue to do what we've been doing. All right, W Zeus. Obviously, they're having a very, very difficult time getting the truth out there, or they don't understand. This is how we get the truth out there. We actually engage our audience. There's no fake engagement. All right, people say that about me, but they say a lot of things about me. Oh, Zeus, he's paid by the DNC. Please, if anyone knows or has evidence that I'm being paid by the DNC, do me a favor and send that over to me, because what I would like to do is, if they're cutting checks, all right, I think I should take it. All right. But we do this out of the kindness of our heart, ladies and gentlemen. There's no fake engagement. And so we've already addressed those of you out there who don't want to be subjected to the truth. Like I said, just go ahead and leave, and we'll finish up doing what we're doing. We'll try to end the weekend on a very, very high note. But before I do that, I just wanted to make sure we all have a good understanding of where I'm at right now. In terms of the Trump administration, yesterday, I was, doing what I normally do. It was the Juneteenth holiday. You're supposed to take time off. And did anyone see Donald Trump yesterday? Did anyone see him? Because he sure was upset about Juneteenth. Did he give like a press conference yesterday? Because I couldn't find it. Did he give one? Because if he did, then I have to apologize. Did Donald Trump actually sit behind the desk in the White House? He didn't do anything. He didn't? Really? Hold on. He had to have. Because, and see, I didn't want to do a round of the Lake of Fire for this, because I just felt like I was moving around and I had so much going on. But I was under the impression Donald Trump was working yesterday, and you're telling me that I was wrong. Hold on. Because President Biden, by the way, Blagga, without President Biden and his administration, you wouldn't have had Juneteenth. You wouldn't have had somebody that acknowledged the sins of this nation like Joe Biden. So you wouldn't have had the day off. But Donald Trump, he posted, this is what he said: too many non-working holidays in America. It's costing our country billions of dollars to keep all these businesses closed. Interesting. The workers don't want it either. Soon we'll end up having a holiday for everyone once working day of the year. It must change if we are going to make America great again. So what I'm hearing you all say is that Donald Trump didn't show up to work yesterday on Juneteenth. Is this what I'm hearing? Oh, no. We can't have that. That's dereliction of duty. So what we're going to do is this, ladies and gentlemen. Because I know a lot of you Trump supporters, y'all sat there and tried to say it's a racist holiday and that you all had to go to work. And Trump even suggested that he was sitting behind the desk working, because the only work he really has to do is sit behind the desk, sign those fake executive orders, and then, say a bunch of nonsense. And you're telling me on Juneteenth, he was too lazy to show his behind up to work. I was going to call him a black behind, but he took off Juneteenth as if he's black, which that just blows my mind. Oh, that just blows my mind. It makes me sick to my stomach, because what he's done to black people and what he continues to do to black people, for him to take Juneteenth off as if it's something he should reap the benefits of. Oh, no. I can't do that. So what we'll do is we'll sacrifice Donald Trump himself this morning, ladies and gentlemen, for our first round of Lake of Fire. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm warming it up. This is for you, Donald Trump. You tried to trick us, black folks out here, that you were actually working on Juneteenth. And you sounded like you really were working. But then I found out you were actually at your Bedminster resort playing golf. Hitting that white ball, huh? Ladies and gentlemen, you know what we got to do. Donald Trump, do me a huge, huge favor. Go straight to hell!
Silence, you MAGA demon.
W Zeus. And any of you Trump supporters who took yesterday off, dude, you should go straight to hell too because you don't deserve that day. No, no, no. That's something the Biden and the Democrats helped make happen. And if you're Blagga, you don't deserve Juneteenth off either. Now that I think about it, as a matter of fact, if I were you, Blagga, I would be working extra hours on the plantation. You know, with Master cracking that whip on your back. W Zeus. And I shouldn't have said that. I shouldn't have said that, honestly, because that's, I'm way above that. But you have to talk to these people sometimes like that because that's the language that they all understand. They go into their apps and they try to defend Donald Trump to the ends of the earth. But then at this moment, you're like, yeah, okay. So where were you at yesterday, right? Any black Trump supporters out there? I want to see. Are there any black Trump supporters out there right now? Because I want to ask you, where were you at yesterday? And if you give me any other answer, then I was on the plantation, doing what Massa told me to do. Then you know what I'm going to say? I'm just going to send you straight to hell, W Zeus. Because it's the hypocrisy of it all, right? It's the hypocrisy. How are you going to hate on Joe Biden? He gives you a federal holiday, Juneteenth, and you still show up on TikTok, put up a background. You totally regret voting for who, Cisco? Who do you regret voting for? Because I would love to ask you Cisco, who do you regret voting for? Let me see. Let me double check this real quick. Oh, Cisco, I can't even talk to you. Oh, you regret voting for him. Could you send us a guest request? Real quick, send us a guest request, Cisco, and because I can't invite you directly, because I just need about a good 2 minutes of your time, champ, because you might be able to reach these people the way that in a way I can't, because I don't have I can't be a double agent. You know what I mean? I don't know enough about what was happening in your world at that time. Oh, somebody wrote Trump won. Oh, Rowdy, could you come up here? I would love to talk to you, Rowdy, real quick, because I haven't even went through any of the rest of my content, Rowdy. But is that the only words? Are those the only words you know how to type on TikTok? Mason, how about you, Mason? How about you, Mason? I'll go ahead and give Mason and Rowdy a chance, ladies and gentlemen, because what I'm about to play next, it's groundbreaking, it's earth-shaking. I can't believe on Juneteenth, in addition to Donald Trump lying and pretending like he was working, but on the back, he's lying and pretending like he's working, but then on the back end, he's actually acting like he's black. All right, taking the day off. Right, he sends out his press secretary, Carolyn Levitt, and I was watching this yesterday. And ladies and gentlemen, you all saw it, but did you really see what she was doing? All right, did you really hear what she was saying? She gets on national television, and we're like sitting there on the edge of our seat, because one thing is clear. We think Donald Trump is going to get this country. Actually, I think I have a pretty high degree of confidence Donald Trump is going to drag us into a war, because he doesn't know what he's doing, right? He's totally incompetent. I heard he's sidelined Pete Kegsbreath. He doesn't even talk to Pete Kegseth, however you want to call his name. I don't even know his real name now. All I know is he drinks a lot and he does a lot of nasty things, right? And then he doesn't even want Tulsi Gabbard. So you're going, who is really advising Donald Trump of these things, right? So we're on the edges of our seat, and Caroline Levitt comes out, all right? And the elephant in the room is, listen, are we going to war or not? But instead of just answering this question, she goes off on this ridiculous rant, and we'll get this on the record, because Carolyn, honestly, you got to go to hell this morning too.
President Trump's powerful efforts to secure our homeland are working. According to newly released numbers, last month, Border Patrol saw a 93% decrease of illegal aliens crossing the southwest border between ports of entry from May 2024 under Joe Biden, when they encountered more than 117,000 illegal aliens. And this particular statistic is absolutely astounding.
All I'm going to say is this. Does anybody trust any facts, data, or statistics coming from the Trump administration today? Does anyone trust it? I just want to ask the audience, because I'm just double checking. No, he's fired all the people who are actually qualified to do the work. It's like she gets on TV. You take your car to the shop, check engine lights on, right? it's not running right. Okay, clearly there's a problem. I'm going to take it to the mechanic. You go in there, you give them whatever they charge. You know, these mechanics, they charge a lot of money, thousands of dollars. Boom. They give you your car back, and guess what? The car still sounds the same. And you know what they say? Oh, nope, everything's fine. According to, and you know, they pull out this sheet of paper. Look at all the diagnostics I ran. This, just give me the $1,000. Now get back in your car and go on and try to drive around the country with this car now. And you're sitting there going, you must think I'm a Trump supporter. Well, what do you mean a Trump supporter? Well, you know what Donald Trump thinks about his supporters, right?
You're either stupid or you hate the country.
Yeah. She thinks that the rest of the country are just as foolish as the Trump supporters. So no, I don't trust the facts, or I don't even call them facts. I don't trust any statistics at all that are coming from the Trump administration. But Caroline seems to believe them, and she reads this stuff, ladies and gentlemen, like she really does believe it. So I'll give Caroline, honestly, Caroline, you'll get an A+. You'll get an A+ for your ability to read lies the way that you do and not even think twice about it. Just reading them, believing them. You say it with so much conviction. If I wasn't smart enough, Caroline, I'd believe you. All right? Because I know Donald Trump supporters, they're not that smart.
Month of May, under the Trump administration, 0 illegal aliens were released into our country by Border Patrol. Let me say that again. Not a single illegal alien was released into the interior of the United States of America last month under this administration. Let's contrast that to Joe Biden's failed leadership, where immigration officers were wasting their finite time and resources processing dangerous illegal aliens for release into the United States. President Trump immediately terminated that reckless Biden-era practice that undermined the rule of law, jeopardized public safety and our national security.
Stop right there. I got to stop Caroline right there, because this was brought to my attention, ladies and gentlemen. And MAGA, I just wanted to say this to you. The jig is up. The jig is up because this was played on Fox News. All right. And this is about immigrants in this country. And I just wanted to get this on the record.
Almost half of the growth of the labor force over the last 5 or 6 years has been due to immigration. You know,
almost half of the labor force over the last 5 to 6 years, MAGA, has been due to Joe Biden. Did you know that?
Without immigrant labor, we'd have a big problem filling a lot of these jobs.
If you really did deport everybody who's here illegally, that would decimate some industries. And I don't think President Trump's prepared to go that far, is he?
I think he's being very reasonable about it. I think this is a policy that most Americans could agree with, because I'm going to slip you the answer to this, the problem, okay? Are you sitting down? We're all getting older. And America is aging. I just turned 65. I know you're only 55. But the point is we're more and more, 10,000 Americans are retiring every day. Yeah. I guarantee you there aren't 10,000 young Americans entering the workforce. So immigrants, I believe right now, are a kind of demographic safety valve that we have that gives us an advantage.
You hear that, MAGA? So W, Zeus, and that came from Fox News. So we all understand immigrants are a significant part of the workforce. They are what makes America great. I won't put the again part because we're not going back. But immigrants are what makes America great. So when you have press secretaries like Caroline Leavitt just lying like this, you just know this is not a good person.
Diverted critical resources away from stopping deadly drugs and violent criminals from entering our country. That's the reason why not a single illegal alien was released into the interior of the United States in the month of May. And as a result, we now have a border that is reaching unprecedented levels of operational success. The efforts by President Trump to stop the illegal immigrant invasion and secure the border in this short amount of time represent one of the greatest achievements by a presidential administration in the history of our great country. With illegal entries being overwhelmingly halted, the Trump administration is dramatically ramping up efforts to arrest and deport all of the millions of criminal illegal aliens that Joe Biden let into our country over the past 4 years.
Oh, really?
President Trump has directed all of our ICE officers to do everything in their power to carry out the single largest mass deportation operation in history. Illegal criminals who are hiding in America's largest so-called sanctuary cities will be increasingly targeted for removal. Radical Democrats will no longer be allowed to shelter illegals who threaten public safety as part of their cynical efforts to expand political power, drain the American taxpayer, and artificially lower.
I just got to stop her right there. What the heck is Carolyn talking about, MAGA? Radical Democrats? Didn't I go over this Monday? Democrats aren't radical like that, unless you're talking about it, in a flirtatious way. Then I could get that, because there could be some radical stuff going on. I've seen it myself. That kind of radical is totally understandable. But when y'all get around on the internet, you try to accuse Democrats like Joe Biden and Barack Obama and myself, or even the people on the internet, as being some sort of agents of chaos. No. As a matter of fact, I actually would go on to say this: the Democrats, ladies and gentlemen, we are the ones who respect the Constitution the most. W. Zeus. We respect the Constitution more than you do, and so I'm actually offended, MAGA, that you would even allow Carolyn to say stuff like this. And you notice they've gotten real quiet, ladies and gentlemen, about this political violence situation that took place in Minnesota. That's because it was one of their own, homegrown, MAGA. And you say to yourself, isn't it funny? I mean, it's not funny, but it's sad. Actually, now that I think about it, it's really sad. They would rather go after pregnant women who they believe are in this country illegally, even though they know they're American citizens. They would tackle these women in parking lots, make them cry. And these men put on masks, and they do these things as if, in 4 years, we won't have a new administration. W. Rick. They do these things to people that aren't even hurting America. They're helping America. But then they're homegrown ones, the ones that they know are full-blown radicalized, like what we saw in Minnesota. Oh, let's go ahead and detain them, and then let's give them due process. I'm sitting back saying to myself, what more due process do they need? Why don't you send them to that concentration camp in El Salvador? You saw what he did. You saw what he did, just like we did. If you're going to deny due process, and this is why I got to do another round of the Lake of Fire. I just thought of this. I got to go ahead and send the Trump administration straight to hell, because you send innocent people to concentration camps for nothing, just for being good people. But then you turn around and you got a mad, real demonic person, evil, pure evil. You know he's evil. And you're going to turn around and say, oh, let's give them all the due process they need because, we're the United States of America. Absolutely not. Ladies and gentlemen, you know what we got to do. Let's warm up the Lake of Fire. And this is for the Trump administration who's playing in our faces. You have somebody that clearly needs to be sent to El Salvador. Do your job. And if you don't, do me a favor, go straight to hell. See, now I'm mad.
Silence, you MAGA.
I don't care about, hey Carolyn, listen, I don't care if you get 0 or negative 0%, negative 1,000%. I don't care. Get rid of the homegrown ones now and send them to El Salvador. And then you'll impress me, all right, W. Zeus? But let's finish this up because I know I've been rambling. I wanted to make sure we get to this point of this whole press conference, all right? Because remember, this is a press conference, ladies and gentlemen, in which she should be giving us an update about whether or not we're getting involved with the war. But we're 2.5 minutes in, and she still is not talking about the war. This is so strange.
Wages and steal American jobs. ICE officers are courageous heroes, upholding the rule of law and keeping our citizens safe. And they have the full and unwavering support of this president. In economic news, President Trump's pro-growth agenda is delivering for the American worker. Through the first 5 months of the Trump administration, real blue-collar wages are up nearly 2%.
What?
It's the strongest growth in nearly 60 years and a stark contrast from the negative wage growth seen during the first 5 months of the Biden administration.
Whoa.
America is quickly returning to the successful formula of the first Trump administration.
I gotta stop Carolyn right there. I'm so sorry, but did you all hear what Fox News also said? And what I'm doing is I'm playing information straight from Fox News. I haven't played anything from CNN. Everything you've heard so far, Fox News. MAGA, she says we're going towards the prosperous times. Well, could you explain this to Big Zeus, all right? This is serious stuff.
As the Israel-Iran conflict escalates, many Americans are wondering how it could impact gas prices here at home. Here with the answer is U.S. Oil and Gas Association President Tim Stewart. Tim, good morning to you. So weigh in on this and tell us what the most likely scenario is as this conflict continues to play out.
Yeah, real quick. So the impacts from the conflict have had a moderate impact on crude prices, but that's because shipping flows haven't been impacted yet. Crude market was also, the global crude market was also somewhat oversupplied, and that's helped soften the blow. But I think American families, I think if we've all looked at it over the last week or 10 days, we've seen prices climb about 10 cents a gallon.
Oh.
That could go up another 20 or 30 cents by July 4th.
I'm going to stop it right there. So gas could go, it's already gone up 10 cents. And then by July 4th, it could go up another 20 cents. Caroline, don't get on the internet and read a bunch of lies. Don't do that from the White House. All right. Read a bunch of lies. Because you know what happens when the gas prices goes up. Everything goes up. So once again, MAGA, I've caught your dear leader in a bit of a serious situation. Don't lie to us about our egg prices, Carolyn. All right, this is serious business. This impacts groceries. This impacts our rent. This impacts everything. I was going to go on vacation, but if gas prices are going up 20 cents, that's 30 cents overall. When is it going to stop is the biggest question. But, listen to how Caroline just continues to lie.
Inflation and rising wages. Once the big, beautiful bill is passed, this positive trend will only accelerate. Senate Republicans are continuing to push this critical legislation forward. The One Big Beautiful Bill will drive growth and supercharge the American economy. The Council of Economic Advisors found that the One Big Beautiful Bill will raise take-home pay by nearly $14,000.
Is there anybody out there who believes that the Big Beautiful Bill will raise your income by $14,000? I almost fell out of my chair when I heard her say that. But I said, I know Doozy is in here. Doozy, Marsha, are you here? Does anyone out there believe it's going to raise your income by $14,000? Just put a yes in the chat. And I will honestly stop what I'm doing now and bring you up because this is incredible news. If this is what it's going to do, why is it stuck? I think every single one of us, and this is what I'm saying, and it gets worse.
A year for the average family of 4. The CEA also found that the One Big Beautiful Bill will increase wages as much as $11,000 for the average worker in America. The One Big Beautiful Bill expands the child tax credit and makes it permanent for more than 40 million families with children. And the bill will deliver no tax on tips, no tax on overtime, and substantial tax cuts for our incredible seniors. Simply put, the One Big Beautiful Bill is a massive win for middle-class Americans. When nearly 80 million Americans sent President Trump back to this White House, they were doing so expecting these popular policies to be enacted.
And I'm going to say this. I'm going to stop one of the biggest lies on TikTok. She said 80 million people sent Trump back to the White House. I'm going to go ahead and say absolutely not. Elon sent Trump back to the White House because I believe, honestly, deep down in my heart, based on the information that I've reviewed, and it's in the court right now, there was those voting machines were compromised. We don't have an accurate estimate. And so if I were to, ballpark figure it, you know what I'm saying? I think the number is way lower, probably only 50 million, to be honest with you. So I don't even believe that. All right. So again, she's just lying.
Republicans in Congress have a mandate to deliver. And President Trump demands they send this historic bill to his desk for signature by Independence Day, July 4th. The American people are fully behind President Trump.
No, they're not.
According to brand new polling from Insider Advantage, a clear 54% majority of Americans approve of the job President Trump is doing. That's because this president is keeping his promises and taking action every day to improve their lives. And passing this bill will help fulfill a number of President Trump's core campaign promises.
I'm going to be honest with you. The poll that she cited, I looked into it. It's totally garbage. And she should have used the Fox News poll, which would have showed Donald Trump is underwater in all issues that he actually could have performed very well. The main issues are the economy and immigration. His poll numbers, they're in the toilet right now. He has nothing going for him, ladies and gentlemen. And it's only getting worse. I promise you.
Now, regarding the ongoing situation in Iran, I know there has been a lot of speculation amongst all of you in the media regarding the president's decision making and whether or not the United States will be directly involved. In light of that news, I have a message directly from the president, and I quote, "Based on the fact that there's a substantial chance of negotiations that may or may not take place with Iran in the near future, I will make my decision whether or not to go within the next 2 weeks." That's
So we've been gaslit all these days to believe we are about to, get into a war with Iran. This is what we've been doing. And I've been telling them, oh no, what about America first, right? We saw the Tucker Carlson interviews and stuff. He left the G7 meeting, according to him, because this situation required his immediate attention, even though now we know he left the G7 because he's intimidated by Zelensky. Little old Zelensky, the one him and J.D. Vance tag team and supposedly humiliated in the White House. Well, if you beat him up, why are you afraid of him then, right? So he comes back to the United States only to tell us he needs 2 more weeks. And so what we got to do now I'm going to give you some CNN, all right? Because CNN, they did an outstanding job. They've compiled a couple videos of him in his 2 weeks, and then we'll go straight to judgment, all right? Let's go ahead and give Donald Trump, ladies and gentlemen, 2 weeks.
We're signing a health care plan within 2 weeks. Over the next 2 weeks, I'll be pursuing a major executive order. We're going to be announcing something, I would say, over the next 2 or 3 weeks. I think you're going to find some very interesting items coming to the forefront over the next 2 weeks. We've got the plan largely completed, and we'll be filing it over the next 2 or 3 weeks, maybe sooner. I'll be making a big decision on the Paris Accord over the next 2 weeks. Then we're going to be having a news conference in about 2 weeks to let everybody know how well we're doing. We're putting in a resolution sometime in the next week or a week and a half, 2 weeks. I gave it 2 weeks.
Oh, we're not done. We're not done. We got more. Mr. Two.
Trust President Putin. In about 2 weeks.
In your mind, is Ukraine doing enough to get this?
I'd rather tell you in about 2 weeks from now.
Do you still believe that Putin actually wants to end the war?
I can't tell you that, but I'll let you know in about 2 weeks. I think you're going to find some very interesting items coming to the forefront over the next 2 weeks. We've got the plan largely completed, and we'll be filing it over the next 2 or 3 weeks. We're going to be having a news conference in about 2 weeks. I will make that decision, I would say, over the next 2 weeks. And I'll be making a big decision on the Paris Accord.
Yeah. Ladies and gentlemen, what we got is evidence that Donald Trump isn't going to do anything right there. 2 weeks, it'll happen, right? Yeah, okay. July 4th, it'll happen. Yeah. 90 deals, 90 days. Yeah, right. Gas price going down to $1.98. Yeah, right. Our eggs, they're free. Yeah, as a matter of fact, we'll pay you to take the eggs right attacking. We have evidence that the man ain't there. We see it. Either he has serious cognitive issues or he's just a flat out liar. And if he's worse than a liar, then you know what he belongs? He belongs in the insane asylum. All 3 of them are terrible. And yet his supporters, they'll continue to get out here and talk about Joe Biden and the Democrats. I understand it's a bittersweet thing, and I'm going to go to the judgment. But you know what? It's kind of a good thing that the Democrats really aren't in the big picture right now. This mess, this collage of stuff that's going on, this is 110% Donald Trump's fault. Democrats have nothing to do with it. Dolly, you think I'm a liar, or you think Trump? You must be saying Trump is a liar. I'll give you that. All right, so ladies and gentlemen, in the spirit of Dolly, let's warm up the lake of fire. You think he's a liar, Dolly? Well, obviously, Donald Trump is a liar, all right? But guess what? He's also insane. Every time you listen to him, or anything coming out of his administration, you can't help but wonder, what is coming out of that insane asylum? All right, nothing good. Ladies and gentlemen, you know what we got to do. Let's send him straight to hell. That's a W. That's a big W for Big Zeus, actually. Yeah. So now that I've kind of covered a lot of content and I've connected a lot of dots, the question is this: what do you Trump supporters have to say? Sean Miller, if you don't mind, come on up here. You're the first one that the mods pinned their comment up, and I guess you wrote, "Is that the new Democrat propaganda?" And yet Joe Biden was strong. Sean Miller, I don't have any clue what the heck you're talking about. Either you come up here or you zip it. All right, because what we don't want is folks like you polluting my comment section with Russian propaganda, and you know it's Russian propaganda, all right, because you can't even back that up, all right. So Sean, do me a favor and just zip it now. Oh yeah, please, if you're a Trump supporter and you know, please put a 1 in the chat and I'll try to bring you up. I like to go back and forth and talk to these people if it's possible, but what I'm realizing is Tiny Tank Top Tim Tom, you just ask your question in the chat, all right? Because you haven't even really passed the first test at this point. You don't even know how to control yourself, and that's very important as far as I'm concerned. You, Snuggie, and all you other ones, you all don't even want to debate anymore. I wouldn't even call it debating, right? W. Zena Smith. You lack the ability. Defending Trump at this point is ignorance or desperation. Yeah. They have an issue with their pride. Yeah, they know they're wrong. They know this. They know that they're wrong. All President did in his first term was tear up the agreement Obama put into place. Yeah, all right. So listen, we'll move. Who do we have next? Ladies and gentlemen. Oh, no, I can't do any of that. Decline. All right, let's go. Good morning, Val. Welcome.
What's up?
Not much. Just it's trying to end the weekend on a high note. What about you?
Oh, just what I'm saying. Just reading and listening to Caroline Levitt lie.
Yeah. Was it a lot of lies?
Oh, it was bad lies.
Yeah.
First off, the CBO predicts a 0.6% increase in wages in labor.
Oh.
Okay.
Not the 14,000, huh?
Not 14,000. And then a 0.9% increase at its peak at 2026. Okay. These all sound great, right? Oh,
yeah.
Hey, some kind of increase, right?
Yeah.
Hold on. What are average wages? Why don't we look at average wage increase from year to year and see what actually happens? Hey, here's some numbers for you. 8.89%. That was the first year of the Biden administration.
Wow.
5.32%. That was the second year of the Biden administration. 4.43%. That was the third year of the Biden administration.
Wow.
We don't have the fourth year yet because it hasn't been reported. So that's, you know what I'm saying? Those were actual wage increases under the Biden administration.
Wow.
when he put stuff into effect.
Yeah.
So a 0.9% at its peak in 2026 would actually be a decrease in wages because you're going against the average.
Wow.
I mean,
wow. Yeah.
That's
it's a drop. It's a
it's
significant drop, and it just shows that either Caroline is lying or her data is corrupt. One of the two. What do you think?
Lying. I'm going with lying. I'm going with just I don't know, and I just read what's on the piece of paper they hand me. But she made that 14% claim.
Yeah.
And from the CBO, and that is not what the CBO says.
Wow.
Matter of fact, this is what the CBO says. The bill is projected to increase after-tax incomes for the highest earning households while lowering incomes for the poorest. According to the Congressional Budget Office, the White House has promoted the bill as an economic windfall with higher wages and take-home pay, but the CBO analyst does not support those claims.
Wow. So she's just going to go ahead, even without their support, run with this narrative. And what do you think her overall objective is with this narrative? Because I don't get it. Why say it if it's not true?
To go after people that don't research. Oh, this will give me a pay raise. No, it's not. It's going to take away a raise you probably would have actually received.
Wow. You hear this, MAGA? This is why you are in a very, very nasty situation. Because, unlike us, Val, they actually, they believe everything Trump says.
Yeah, I mean, you find me the 14%. And I didn't know we kept statistics on blue collar jobs. What is a blue collar job? What do we consider a blue collar job today?
Yeah. I'm asking.
Yeah. I understood it back, I understood it back in the, the 50s and 60s and 70s, right? It's a lot different today. What is a blue collar job? Where are they getting this statistic from? Because I can't find this statistic.
Will, please come on up here. Will, you're out there and you're promoting Donald Trump on my channel, but you're not comfortable getting in the box and explaining it and why you believe in Donald Trump. It makes no sense, Will. It just shows that you're either, as your dear leader said,
You're either stupid or you hate the country.
it's one of those two, Will, honestly.
Yeah, I mean, these are old sayings that absolutely people try to use to bring up feelings for people when most of the jobs today are taken up in tech. Most of the jobs today are in, you know what I'm saying, in industry of some sort. Okay, and somebody wrote down their union jobs. Well, not all union jobs are blue collar. So I don't know. I mean, I understand where you would go with that, but there's things, if you're just saying electricians, and there's electricians out there right now making more money than people working in IT.
Yeah.
I mean, that's just a fact. So I just want to know where we come up with this term blue collar, because the statistic itself, blue collar, doesn't exist in the Labor Bureau.
Wow. See, I didn't know that, but see, there you go. See, that's interesting to note. So you think that they're just making up these terms in order? Oh, what was that?
They refer to jobs as non-farm jobs.
See, this is why education is important. W Val. This is why education, ladies and gentlemen, is highly important and highly critical. But there was another question, Val, and it has to do with immigration and how much immigrants contribute to our economy and the impact if they're not here. How do you explain it to these folks out here that they are in very, very bad situation? I saw a video of what's going on in Los Angeles. They go where they do their food thing at in the alleys or whatever they do that at. But the immigrants aren't showing up in these, meat producing facilities. They're not showing up on the farms. What do you think the ultimate outcome of this is going to be?
Well, it's going to be a raise in cost of our goods, right? In the grocery store. Okay. I mean, that's going to be the end result that everybody really feels, right? Meat's going to get more expensive. Vegetables are going to get more expensive. Those are the things people are going to actually feel. I mean, and it may only be, 20 cents on an ear of corn, or, you know what I'm saying? Things along those lines. But what people don't realize is those types of figures add up in a family household very quickly.
Yeah.
When your groceries go from, we'll just use $100 for an example, $100 a week to feed a family of two.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And they go up to about $120 or $130. People don't think much about it, but that $30 over a period of time makes a big difference. And that's when people start feeling it.
Yep.
And and then you start raising prices at places people go, Republicans seem to love McDonald's a whole lot, right? So let's use McDonald's. As McDonald's raises its, breakfast that, a lot of people know then go and used to be able to get the, Egg McMuffin or whatever it used to be, drinking their little hash brown
used to be able to get it, I think maybe around $2, right?
$2 to $3, $2 to $4, depending on where you're at. Okay, and now that's like $6 to $7.
Wow.
Okay, a lunch that used to be $6 to $7 to $8 at McDonald's is now $9 to $10 to $12.
Wow.
Okay, these little things add up, and that's where what I'm saying, and that's where people don't think about it. And then gas, hey, 20 cents a gallon doesn't, but 20 cents a gallon after 10 gallons, guys, that's $2.
Yeah.
Okay.
So in other words, they're going to be broke. They won't be woke, because I haven't said it in a while. They won't be woke, but they will be broke. And this is what's inevitable. MAGA and Val is bringing to you nothing but the truth. He has no reason to get up here and spread lies about any of this stuff.
No, it's just little things that are going to happen over a period of time. You talk about inflationary. What this man's put together is probably the most inflationary bill that's ever been introduced.
What about the no cuts to Medicaid? Because, they're still saying on the right, there's nowhere in the bill that says there's going to be cuts to Medicaid. So it's just a Democrat talking point. Is that true?
Democrat talking point. Okay, let's think about this a minute. If I cut $880 billion, okay, or 880 million, it's million, I think, or no
Right.
billion, just billion. $880 billion
Yeah.
from the organization that funds Medicaid
Mm.
and Medicare. I'm cutting it.
Billion.
There's no way around that. It's like these people don't understand. If I raise the Social Security age
Yeah.
from 65 to 67, oh, they just raised the age.
Oh.
No, they cut it.
Mm.
Okay,
Like-
because now you get people that are on there 2 years that have to wait 2 additional years before they can receive
Yeah.
their Social Security funds. You have cut it. Period.
Yeah.
These things, you get sold stuff in different packages, but the outcome is the same.
Right. Bingo. And so now it's crystal clear, Val. They understand what you're saying. But you know what? We're going to try to go bring up somebody else, sir.
No.
But I might have to bring you back up, all right? Because
I'm here.
I
I'm hanging
appreciate the facts, the data, the statistics, the information. W Val. All right, and you see, this is what we need more of, just pure, unadulterated truth, ladies and gentlemen, because that's what this show really is all about. Again, W Val. Alrighty then. Do we have any volunteers out there? Any Trump supporters? All right, let's see. What do we have out there? Going once, going twice. I put a 1 in the chat if you're a Trump supporter. All right, that's the best way. Or actually, you could send me a guest request, and we can keep this show rocking and going. All right, because I like to do the whole cooking and the booking thing. All right, W Zeus. All right. There we go. Mike, are you a Trump supporter, Mike? Mike says he's a Trump supporter. Okay, come on up here. There we go. Okay, all right. Not Bigfoot, not you. No. I think you and I, we've checked in. And we've seen it. All right, let's go. We'll bring up Takesha. Welcome. Come on up here, Takesha. Welcome.
Good morning, Zeus.
Hey, good morning. How are you?
I'm all right. How you doing today?
I'm doing pretty good. Another day in the kingdom, tending to the affairs. How about you?
Man, listen, I know Joe Biden ears be burning off.
You
As
think
much
so?
as they call his name whenever they give a press conference. If it ain't lying Carolyn, it's lying Trump. That man's name be on their lips more than lip gloss and Vaseline, Zeus.
Ain't
It
that-
makes absolutely no sense how much they talk about Joe Biden.
Ain't that crazy?
You should not have to tell one person down to
Mhm.
lift yourself up if you really doing a good job.
Yeah.
in this show.
Yeah.
You ain't got to keep bringing up Joe Biden.
No.
Just talk about yourself, but you're trash. So that's
Mm.
why you cannot talk about yourself without trying to tear Joe Biden down.
Ain't that something?
Did
Ain't
she
that
have
something?
that cross around her neck when she was up there doing all that lines?
You know she did. She did. She lying and trying to represent God at the same time. The Christian God in the Bible, that's what they like to do. And I don't know why they do that, but yeah, that's how she looked.
She a cross liar, just like they said cross dressing. She a cross liar. It don't make no sense.
Wow.
But listen,
Talk to him.
I just want to say this. Since Lady Red always get up and say, how's he racist?
Mm.
When you make a truth on Juneteenth
Yeah.
about how we have too many federal holidays
Yeah.
on Juneteenth, you're racist. Because he ain't made it no other time, Zeus.
Bingo.
Why you wait till Juneteenth to talk about how we got too many paid federal holidays? You're racist.
Bingo.
And if that didn't prove to you that he doesn't care about black people,
Mm.
then Lady Red Lady just baby bye.
W Takesha. I mean, and as you said that, I know I could honestly, I could hear what Red Lady Red was thinking, and she's sitting back saying it's acceptable for him to be racist because guess what? She hates herself. This is what it's turned
They,
in, huh?
they gotta stay in traction for the way they bent over to
Mm,
try to make this man seem like he's not a racist.
yeah,
I know they stay in traction.
yeah,
Then you got Caroline Levy. She up that line talking about all the senators really want to pass this bill. They got the majority. Why haven't they passed it?
yeah.
Because they don't want to.
They don't want to give the $14,000 to everybody that's working because that's what she said. You're
Zeus,
gonna get an extra 14,000.
Zeus, you're lying, Zeus. They don't want to pass the bill because the bill is trash. And some people in the Senate actually have a conscience. They Donald Trump, every 2 weeks, you giving us something. Now you're talking about in 2 weeks you going to war. Zeus, let me say this. By the weekend, he gonna strike them people.
You think so?
I promise you, I really do. I think he think that this is a strategy to throw them off. Them people ain't crazy. They looking for it. I think by the weekend he's gonna do it, Zeus. I don't think it's gonna be no 2 weeks. I think he think that's a strategy of him trying to make them people think he's not gonna do it. But I think by the weekend we're gonna hear about a strike. He wanna strike them real bad, Zeus. He not finna wait no 2 weeks. By Saturday, Zeus, mark my words, he gonna do it.
Wow.
He itching to do it.
Wow. That's
I
interesting.
just don't believe.
You think he's going to
Zeus, I do not believe he gonna take no 2 weeks. I truly believe this weekend he gonna do it, Zeus.
Wow.
He want to real bad. And he think if he said 2 weeks that is gonna knock them people off from looking for it. I really believe it's gonna happen this weekend.
Wow. So, in other words, no America first after, because see what that's going to end up doing is that puts Israel first, right? Because that really the part of the playbook, or
Everybody first before the USA. Like I told you, he went over there to the G Summit, simping harder for Russia than anybody. He's never stood up for us like this, Zeus.
wow.
You
Wow.
over there lying about Obama and Justin Trudeau, who had absolutely nothing to do with
Warmongers.
kicked out.
Ain't that something? They're a bunch of warmongers. These people
I'm
don't care
telling
about
you,
saving
Zeus.
the American people any money. They just want to commit us to these forever wars. And then, conservative Democrat, you think this is funny? You think it's funny to have our men and women in uniform, perhaps children, going over there to fight a war that they never wanted to be a part of to begin with? Why is that funny to
Nothing
you?
funny about conservative Democrat, but the way he look.
W. Takesha. Now that is true because he's an ugly person. Now that you say it that way, yeah.
I mean, he's so ugly the doctor slapped himself instead of slapping him. He got the face.
Yeah, that's facts. I gotta agree.
He got
And
the face not even his mother could love. You know how they say you got the face only a mother could love? His mother turned her back, tried to sneak out the hospital to leave him there. She didn't want to take him home because he looked just that bad.
That's ugly. That's ugly. And see, and you know what makes that even worse is when you're ugly on the outside and the inside
And
at the.
Zeus so ugly, he make an onion cry.
Ooh, and see, we didn't want to do that because we like to stay clean and on a high note. But when you have people in the chat like that, they religiously come in here to cause chaos. You got to do it like that. So W. Takesha, thank you so much because
His heart is just that ugly. That the inside of him wants to throw it on the outside. That's just how ugly his heart is, Zeus. He's a very ugly person.
Yeah. You see what I mean? So conservative Democrat, you brought it upon yourself, and there has to be some sort of consequence. All right. They hate on dopamine. Dopamine. Why would you put L Takesha? That's not nice. Takesha's is one of the most honest.
Thank you. That means lovely.
Okay, I get it.
Yeah, lovely Takesha. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
I appreciate the compliment.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for that compliment. Lovely Takesha. That's what it stands for, Zeus.
Oh, I love that. I love the way that
Thank
you can
you so much.
And that actually shows the spirit is in you. And the real spirit.
Thank
because
you for that good Christian heart to call me lovely.
Mm.
Thank you.
Yeah. That's awesome, Takesha. I'm so proud of you. You taught me something today, because it's like what the Bible says, what the devil meant for evil, what?
God means for good, Zeus. You gotta
Amen.
they never say what they mean. They never do that. So you got to fill in the blanks. Lovely Takesha. I think that's what I'm gonna change my name to. Thank you so much, sweetie, for that love.
Hey, that is pretty impressive. You know what? That's outstanding. W Takesha, everyone.
All right, sis.
Alrighty, then we're gonna move things along. But as always, I appreciate you. We'll see if we can get some demons that actually want to come up here and defend their dear leader today.
And
All
I'll
right.
just keep feeling lovely.
Okay, all right, fair enough. Oh my God, ladies and gentlemen, let's give Takesha a huge round of applause. That's two guests. That's two amazing panelists. These are amazing creators that join my show every day. And one thing I've been noticing lately is probably ever since Liberation Day, it's been a significant decline in terms of MAGA who are willing to get up here and have that conversation with Big Zeus. They say, I'm going to climb Mount Olympus. They try to climb and they say, oh, you know what? I probably should have stayed home that day. All right. Because, what Zeus does is incredible. And it's not just what I do, but it's also, all the wonderful people that I am surrounded by. But I'll say this, though, because I see that there are folks out here who are getting triggered. All right. And they don't like the way that I'm running this show. But here's a PSA announcement.
If you're not happy here, then you can leave. As far as I'm concerned, if you hate our country, if you're not happy here, you can leave. If you're not happy in the U.S., if you're complaining all the time, very simply, you can leave. You can leave right now. Come back if you want. Don't come back. It's okay too. But if you're not happy, you can leave.
Yeah. So as you can see, ladies and gentlemen, the Trump supporters, they know the end is near, and this is bittersweet as far as I'm concerned because we're watching it happen in real time. Antonia, good morning. How are you?
Good morning. How are you guys?
We're doing pretty good. Welcome back.
I have one thing to disagree with what Takesha said. Everything else she said was correct.
Okay.
But I don't think he'll strike this week. And if you guys have noticed his 2-week pattern, he's got to see how it goes in the polls. He's got to see how his followers like him or not. So I think the 2-week thing is throw it out there, see how it polls, and then he makes a decision from there. The other thing is it's not something he can walk back. Like the tariffs he plays hot potato with, on, off. You can't walk back a strike. You can't walk back a bomb.
That's true. I'm torn, to be honest with you, because I think he's in a very, very bad predicament. And I would honestly think when you said the B word, right, this all started when Elon dropped that B word, right? And ever since Elon announced that he was in those Epstein files, the question was, how far would Donald Trump go to take the attention off of that, right? Do you think along those lines?
It's all attention. Everything he does is attention. I don't think the distraction is on purpose. I think it's a complete and utter, for better lack of words, shit show administration.
Oh, no, you got... I caught you, Antonia. All right, but keep going. I get it.
There's so much out there, and there's so much that he guts FEMA, right? We're not going to do FEMA, gut FEMA, governors figure it out. Then his supporters are on TV crying. They lost their homes, their businesses in floods. And what does he say yesterday? Oh, I'm sending federal money.
I did see that. Yeah, he's sending federal. Did he really do it? And then if so, why change course?
Because his poll numbers were down with his MAGA supporters. It's all about the polls. It's 10 years and we're still waiting for the 2-week new healthcare program. Everything is 2 weeks. One, he hopes people's attention span is that of a raccoon looking at a shiny object and they forget about it. And then he's got to see how he polls with his followers. If his followers are like, hey, we're getting a little upset, boom, we got to go back to the other direction and fix the problem we created.
His cult members. He cares about them in their polls. Oh, wow. These are
He doesn't care about them. He just cares about the poll numbers because he's such a malignant narcissist. He said he's got a 54% approval rating. I have not seen that anywhere. I think the last I saw was 38%.
Wow.
close to the number of felonies he has.
I like how you brought in the 38 with the 34 like that. I mean, the difference is 4, but everyone got what you were saying. He has felonies, ladies and gentlemen. And guess what? You voted for this, MAGA. You did this. And to me, that's the other thing. Why do they think it's acceptable to have a problem with criminals, knowing that they voted for a felon? Isn't that crazy?
And how they cheered the stupidity. I heard a very interesting stat last night. I don't know if you guys listened to the Find Out podcast by Rich and It's Luke and Zach Kimbrell, but for every 1 million immigrants they deport, 88,000 Americans lose their jobs.
What? How does that work?
Because immigrants do the support jobs, right? There are dishwashers, they do the agriculture, all that. Those are support jobs for the bigger jobs. So if we lose all the support jobs, who's going to have those bigger jobs?
Not the people that have them now. And so would you, I want to ask this. Would you encourage the Trump supporters right now to actually backfill these positions? Is there a way we can encourage them?
Yeah, I want to go see them picking the strawberries that ICE was chasing from the poor immigrants last week. Go pick the strawberries and all the agriculture. It's mind-boggling. These people continue to support it.
Yeah. So they're supporting their own demise. This is what we're trying to help you all understand. Patrick wrote, "Kids can feel them." Isn't that something?
Patrick, I hope you have a 5-year-old that can go pick your strawberries then. It's disgusting.
Yeah. And disgusting Patrick. That's your new name.
Yeah. And then they cheered. What did he say? We have 85 billion in revenue and tariffs. And they cheered being taxed. They cheered that they are paying a tax on goods. He put on Truth Social and said the 55% tariff with China is an amazing deal. And these people cheered being taxed 55% more.
Wow. And so this is what's so incredible, because, if Joe Biden would have told them that, do you think they would have proudly accepted it, or do you think that they would have resisted it?
They're still blaming Biden for everything. We got this clown in office, and they're still trying to find a way to blame Biden. Everything's Biden's fault. The tariffs, Biden's fault. Everything is Biden's fault.
Yeah.
They cannot accept they all suck.
Yeah.
Top to bottom, they all suck. Every single one of them. And then you have Trump, who thinks he's smarter than Tulsi Gabbard. That's a different story. And Pete Kegsbreath. Nobody's talking to them. I don't know if you guys saw the report. They're not even part of the talks about what's going to go on with Iran.
Ain't that something? These are isn't this the best and the brightest? He only picks the best and the brightest. So the question remains, why wouldn't he consult with them?
Because he's a malignant narcissist. He thinks he's smarter than everybody. We've been hearing that for 10 years. He knows more. He's better than everybody. Smarter than Nobel Peace Prize winning economists.
Is he smarter than Obama? And does he think he's smarter than Obama?
Did you hear the squeaky wheels on that tank the other day? That's the sound of his brain.
Wow. It's true. If Antonia was up here lying, I would say, hey, that's not true. You got to stop. But she's telling the truth, and you Trump supporters, you have to live with this. And let me ask you one more question. Let's go down the road, maybe 10 years from now. Do you think these people who voted for Donald Trump will openly and proudly tell people that they did this, or do you think this is going to be probably a dark secret they take to their graves? Because this is embarrassing, and they know it is.
It's going to be a dark secret. Who's going to want to admit they voted for the second coming of Schmittler? How can somebody support that they rounded up people and threw them into prisons? They sent them to El Salvador. They took hardworking people, and you have no clue what they did to them. If they do that to our senators and to our politicians, manhandle them, handcuff them, what are they really doing to these poor people who all they're here doing is working? And they say, do it the legal way. Fine, do it the legal way. Why are you grabbing them at their immigration hearings, at the courthouses? Why?
Yeah, if it's so on the up and up, right? If you're truly proud of what you're doing, Why wear the mask?
Correct.
Right?
I gotta go. I'm at work, guys.
All
Thank
right,
you.
Antonia. Ladies and gentlemen, W. Antonia, No Lies Detective. See, the jig is up. All right. Do we have any brave Trump supporters out there that want to come up here real quickly? Clinton did it. I don't want to hear about the Democrats. If you're MAGA, I don't want to hear about anything the Democrats have done. What I want to hear about is why are you not so proud of your dear leader? If Donald Trump was actually delivering on every single thing you all claimed that he was delivering on, you should be able to come up here and talk until you're blue in the face, right? Right? Yeah, I did say brave Trump supporters. Conservative Democrat, you're not proud of Trump. All right. Let's see. Let's see. The majority of Trump is the only president that doesn't read daily briefings. Yeah. Trump can't read or write. Yeah, WWT boy. That's true. Trump can't read. He's getting his daily briefings from Fox News. And so Fox News, they've gotten themselves into a predicament because they sent him some people that were from Fox News, right? And these people were supposed to stop him from doing that. But it turns out those people actually did the exact opposite. The Democrats are bankrupt. Douglas, come on up here. MAGA Queen doesn't want to come up here. MAGA Queen knows better. MAGA Queen, I've already spoken to MAGA Queen. All right. MAGA Queen, where are you at? All right, let's see. Let's see. Oh, Ben Allen, good morning. Good morning, Ben. How are you?
I'm doing good, Zeus. How are you? Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Did you vote for Trump?
I didn't. I listen to you on a daily basis. I didn't want to take up too much of your time.
Okay.
I just wanted to come up here. I'm one of the younger generation. I'm only 21.
Oh, okay.
A lot of the people around me, like I'm in an EMT class right now. Mm-hmm. We all feel the same way as you guys do.
Really?
On a daily basis, all of us are upset with things Trump does. We're always talking about how we feel the future is going to be.
Wow.
And I just want you to know that not all of the young people right now are drinking the Kool-Aid, as it were.
Wow, that's incredible. I mean, I'm glad that you're at this age, at your age you're at now, you're already paying attention to this kind of stuff. Because when I was your age, I kind of knew about stuff, but it really wasn't as serious. But what do you find is the issue going on within your current generation in terms of why they've drinking the Kool-Aid? What happened? I mean, because there was a point where I felt like, oh, okay, the next generation, they're going to be able to learn from the mistakes that we've made, because I was in this position with the generation, right? But then I'm going, oh, something clearly happened where they've drinking the Kool-Aid. What happened from your point of view?
Honestly, I think I saw it with one of my own ex-friends who ended up voting for Trump, is that they start watching all these podcasts with all these red pill, like alpha males, and they started getting into these woke things. Like that's what my friends, he started complaining about things being too woke. And he would just regurgitate talking points. And then if I tried to have an actual conversation like you do, just start with the stammering and the what they say.
Yeah.
And
nothing really, no real foundation in terms of understanding about how stuff is connected, huh?
Yeah, exactly.
Wow. Well, this is interesting. Now you're in the EMT. Has anything Donald Trump done? Has anything that the Trump administration has done so far has it had an impact on what you're doing now in terms of the work?
Not currently. I'm still in my class for it, but I know that I'm in Arizona, and so currently Maricopa is paying for my classes.
Okay.
But I know that right now everything's kind of up in the air, whether we're going to still have funding and all that stuff, because we all think we should. First responders are we think important.
Yeah, I believe they truly are important, right? And the training you have to get and the access to these schools and universities that Trump continues to target is very, very important. So, yeah, you got to keep doing that. But, yeah, it's totally unfortunate that they've put this generation, your generation, into this predicament now where a lot of you don't know, honestly, the dangers of what's currently happening, right?
Oh, yeah, 100%. It's just a lot of what they see on the internet. They don't do a lot of research. I see a lot of people, unfortunately, becoming really comfortable using AI and just letting whatever GPT or Grok tells them be the facts and the end all be all.
Wow. And they don't fact check it at all. They just sit back and go along with it. What a disgrace. Well, listen, Ben, I got to give you a huge round of applause because first responders always have a special place in my heart. You're doing the real work. You're out here saving lives, all right, setting your own, personal feelings aside for everybody else. And I'm pretty sure Trump supporters don't want to acknowledge it, but Ben, you probably saved their lives as well in ways they can't even imagine. So I just want to keep up. I encourage you to keep up the good work, all right, and continue to come on back, all right. I might need you, especially when we.
Here, Zeus. I listen every day, so you ever need me, I'd be listening to these Trump supporters. I'd be getting upset.
Yeah,
but I can keep it clean for your mom. I understand. So
because even no matter how old you are, Ben, you're still going to be your mother and your father's child. So that's a very big lesson. I'm glad you picked up on that. All right, brother. I appreciate that. All right.
Hey, you have a good stream, and I'll keep listening.
All righty then. Thank you so much, ladies and gentlemen. WBen in the chat. No lies detected. Who is this? Someone wrote, "What is a mother?" Mrs. Nagwood. Come on up here, Mrs. Nagwood, with your 6 followers. Come on up here. I can help you understand what a mother is. All right, but. With a name like that, it's just disgusting. Miss Nagwood, I'm glad you sat your special behind down and didn't accept my guest request because you knew better. You know what, Miss Nagwood, with a name like that, asking me what a mother is, I gotta do it. Let's go ahead and warm up the lake of fire for Miss Nagwood, ladies and gentlemen. Miss Nagwood, do me a huge favor. All right. And this is, and again, listen. We don't need to go into details, but do me a huge favor and go straight to hell.
Silence, you MAGA demon.
All right. He says he's willing to.
Hey, Zeus, how's it going? How's the wife and kids?
What are you talking about?
How's your wife and kids doing?
Are you? You said you're willing to actually try to have a civilized discussion, and you've already gotten up
I'm
in here.
I'm asking how everything is. That's all I'm doing. I'm asking how everything
I don't know what wife or kids you're talking about. So this means you're projecting. And you don't know me like that, so that I'm a little offended. I'm actually significantly offended. What are you, in your car now?
Well, that's on you. That's on you.
So you're in your car now?
My truck, yes. I started my truck, yes.
What year is the truck?
16.
2016. What model?
Hold on, I got to shut off the Bluetooth. Hold on.
Because I'm concerned about you, in a way, Tom. You're driving a 2016. Is this a Ford? Is this a? What is this? What do you drive? Ford?
No, I drive a Toyota.
Okay, so you drive a foreign truck. Okay, it's 16. Yep. What is it that I can help you with today? Because you're not liked. People don't like you. You understand this?
And I care that I'm liked. Why? I just have a couple of questions.
Can I ask you a question? Politics aside, whatever happened to just being good old Americans? Whatever happened to that?
I could ask Democrats the same thing.
I said politics aside. Because
politics is American.
I get that, but listen, you come into my platform. I open the doors for all because I don't want anyone to have any excuses when they go meet their maker for why they didn't do the right thing. So what I'm asking,
who decides what that right thing is?
We do. Simple,
no, you don't.
Simple answers.
The person doing the thing decides if it's the right thing or not. Other people don't decide if they did the right thing.
No, but here's the thing, right? So you're a terrible person. I haven't met anybody on TikTok that likes you. So at a certain point, you have to stop.
To decide who a terrible person is.
I have good judgment of character.
How do we know that?
Because look at this. Just look at the results. And I need you to just not listen. I mean, not respond. All right, because you're defensive. But I'm really trying to actually get through to you.
Okay, go ahead.
You begged me to come up here, and
no, I didn't.
You said, "Please, Zeus, please. And I get
didn't
it.
say
You might think this is a way to get a following or
No,
something.
I
don't
would
know.
never. I would never say please to you. Never.
Okay, so what do you get? What do you need from me in order to stop you from asking to come up here every single day? I don't get it.
Stop with the hate. You say that your show is full of love. Okay, you say that every day. The only love you show is for those that agree with you. I mean, could you imagine if we talked about Takesha the way she talked about that?
You don't even go there because
No.
because
It's
Takesha
a
is
valid question.
you
It is
could
a valid question.
I
We
would.
talked about Takesha the way she talks about other people.
What did I ask you? Do you know what a boundary is? If I said,
Where's her boundaries?
oh, okay.
Does she have boundaries?
So you're a victim today.
No. I'm not.
You're a
saying I'm
victim. You're a
I'm
victim.
saying
Takesha beat
if
Takesha.
would
You
not
beat us.
allow us to talk about Takesha the way she talks about other people. You wouldn't.
You don't need to because as far as I'm
Why
concerned,
does she need to?
Takesha
Why
spreads.
does she need to?
Because Takesha is telling the truth, number one, and as a matter of fact, Takesha isn't really talking about you. She's just being descriptive, right? You're a terrible person, and you do need professional help.
Decided by who? You and your cult, or by society?
Hold on. See, this is what I didn't want to do, Tom. I really am trying to establish some level of decorum on this platform.
Oh,
right?
so am I.
I'm very big on that. I'm like, hey, I don't like it when conversations devolve into just utter chaos. I don't get down like that offline. So why would I do it online? That's never been my personality. So when you get up here and you try to portray yourself as some sort of victim of any of
I'm
the
not playing a
guests,
victim.
I don't think any of my guests.
I'm not playing a victim.
I don't
never
think.
be a victim.
Okay.
I don't
okay.
allow myself
Well,
to be a victim.
Okay, so then could you apologize for bringing Takesha up because
No.
she hasn't done anything to you, especially
She
since
hasn't
you've
done anything to me.
Okay,
no.
so
But I
then
asked
let's
you a
get back to
question.
let's get back.
The question was, would you allow us to talk about?
No.
Would you?
I'm
allow
answering
us to
your
talk about
question.
Any
No.
of your guests?
No.
The way that you allow them to talk about us.
I don't allow anyone to talk about anyone.
You just allowed.
No,
her
no,
to.
no.
Yes, you did.
There's a difference between being descriptive and talking about someone. There's nobody that gets onto this platform and just randomly decides to talk about people. What you have, Tom, Tiny Tank Top Tim Tom, is your reputation precedes you. That's why I said there's nobody here that genuinely likes you. I don't know. Hold on. Does anybody out there like seriously, does anyone out there like Tiny Tank Top Tim Tom? I just want to know if he has anybody out there that likes him.
I do not care if they like me or not.
Okay, so I didn't ask you.
Cult doesn't matter to me.
So listen, I'm not asking you. He has a very bad attitude. I need you to just deal with this. I need you to get this back because I don't like teaching grown folks how to behave. That's I don't need.
No, they can't intimidate me.
Well, listen.
Why they don't like me?
Okay, all right. And
They
so
can't intimidate me.
Okay, so but
They can't
I'm not even
belittle
asking
me.
you.
They can't degrade me.
What did I just ask you to do? Please don't unmute when I'm trying to help. You're dealing with a serious problem and it has to stop. You get what I'm saying? If you want to come up here, stick to policy. You don't need to go and ask about I don't need your help. I don't need your help regulating how I run my show.
So
but I'm not even asking you about that.
you said stick to policy. You said stick
Yes.
to policy.
Yeah.
So I
So
didn't
you
vote
got
for
it.
policy.
You got what I'm saying now.
Right. So you voted for Kamala because she is a female of color. Admit it. That's the only reason you voted for her.
So that's your
Right. And I'm entitled to my opinion, just like you're entitled to yours.
all right. That's your opinion. Anything else? I don't really believe you're getting anything productive from this conversation. And I'm already at the place
Well, no,
of
I just came
judgment.
up because you say there is no brave MAGA. I'm using the finger quotes.
Okay.
I'm braver than any of your people. I'm willing
Really?
to say what I want to say, when I want to say it, how I want to say it. Well, I am willing, but you won't allow it because you're not an adult. And you don't want adult conversations.
So what I'm hearing is you're willing to be a fool, right?
No,
and you
I'm
think that's
willing
some
to
sort
be-
of
I'm
flex?
willing to be truthful.
You're willing to be a fool. And you think it's a flex, and I get that that's your personality, but you have really nothing of
believe that
value.
People are allowed to say what they want to say, how they want to say it, and when they want to say it.
Well, I mean, again, you could believe what you want to believe, but it doesn't mean what you believe is correct. And so,
It doesn't
what
mean
I
what
want
you
to
say is correct either.
yeah, well, what I do say is actually correct.
Nah,
and doesn't,
you never back anything up, Zeus.
you want me to
Never
back something?
anything up.
You want
play
me
a
to?
lot of edited videos.
Oh,
or
he says
audio,
I don't
that's
back
about
things
it.
up.
You play.
You don't think I back anything up?
No, you never back anything up. You have other people try to do it for you.
Oh,
Like,
that's
these people-
interesting.
Wait. I got a question for you.
He said I don't back anything up. Well, how many people, ladies and gentlemen, Tiny TikTok Tim says I don't back anything up. Oh, now that got me. Oh, you don't think I back anything up? Well, I'm gonna do something, Tiny TikTok Tim Tom. I'm gonna back up what I'm about to do. I'm gonna send you straight to hell. I think I do that every day. Right, ladies and gentlemen, don't I send him straight to hell and his followers, whoever they are? Tiny TikTok Tim Tom, you're a terrible person. I just backed that up. You're ugly. I just backed that up. You don't know how to talk to people because you know what, I gotta keep it clean, but you know what the rest is. Ladies and gentlemen, let's go ahead and back it up one more time and send Tiny TikTok Tim where he came from with his good friend MAGA Queen. Straight to hell!
Silence, you MAGA demon!
W Zeus.
You're either stupid or you hate the country.
I mean, that right there, ladies and gentlemen, it's a classic example of somebody that's clearly miserable, and is begging for attention. And I don't, to me, I get it. It's comic relief in a way, because we needed to throw somebody into the lake of fire, right? But it's a classic example of the mindset of most Trump supporters. Instead of actually doing the work and trying to be a decent human being, they get off getting on TikTok and making themselves look like a bunch of fools. I've never seen anything like this in my life, ladies and gentlemen. And they do this all in the name of supporting Donald Trump. Now, I'm going to let Takesha come back up here because he made it a point to mention you. Is there something you wanted to add?
You know what, Zeus? I was gonna be real calm. Had you had brought me up, I wasn't gonna get your show taken down. But I don't know what that man's obsession is with me. I know I'm 10 times cuter than his wife. I know that he probably went and found a picture of me, screenshotted it, and he makes her wear my face on her face daily. But Tiny Tank Top, Tiny Testicle, Tiny Tim, I don't want you.
No one does.
I don't bring your name up.
No.
Stop bringing up my name. I say what I want to say. I've always said what I wanted to say. Whoever has a problem with what I say, they can come in the box and address me. But as for you, sir, you have been talking at me now ever since I hit Zeus show. I told you after you called me that garden tool, don't ever call my name again. I told you if you came for me, that would be the only way I come for you. Now you have made yourself a part of my list. So next week, Monday through Friday, I will be shaming you. I will have a poem about you every day that I step foot on Zeus's show.
Oh my goodness, W Takesha. Anyone like Tiny TikTok Tom? Yeah.
I'm going to dog walk you.
He likes that.
Park with a pooper scooper, sir.
But he likes that, Takesha. You know that, right?
The man is in love with me, Zeus. Out of the people that come up on a daily, he called my name. He wants me, Zeus.
Oh, he wants some of
that jungle fever, but he can take a Tylenol.
So, what you're saying is he wants to get a little swirl. He wants to do a little twist. You go to you get that little twist. You mix the chocolate with the vanilla. They call that a twist. He wants a twist.
He want me to ride him like Six Flags over Georgia, Zeus. But baby, when I get through with him, he won't be driving a 2016 Zeus. He'll be driving a 2006. Cause I have all that little change he make out that little office.
Wow.
Leave me alone. Leave me alone, sir.
Yeah. Is there any ladies out there, any woman out there wants Tiny Tank Top Tim Tom? Because I know you all don't like it when I do this, but I'm going to go because Takesha just gave me this idea. Is there any woman out there that wants Tiny Tank Top Tim Tom? Because maybe it's time to hook them up with some real love.
Zeus, the man, wears a Band-Aid for underwear and sits down to eat. Don't no woman want him.
He's looking for love. Can I get one yes in the chat, please? Tiny Tank Top Tim, we're trying to find you some love because you need to do something else with your time. Seriously.
He's looking for love in all the wrong places and in all the wrong faces. It just remind me of Urban Cowboy. He said that Zeus, the song that said, I've been looking for love in all the wrong places.
Yeah.
Stop looking at me. I don't want you, sir.
No. I don't want no scrubs. We don't want no scrubs, right? You remember this song?
Even if he scrubbed himself, I wouldn't want him to. I don't want you. Please leave me alone.
Thank you. And so that's a boundary, Tiny Tank Top Tim Tom. And if you were a real man, you would respect the boundary. Takesha said, leave her alone.
I don't want you, sir. If you don't call my name, I won't call yours. Please leave me alone. It's getting stalkish.
Yeah.
It's getting stalkish.
And I would say, I was going to say maybe he should send you, because, men should pay their way in the relationship.
Zeus, I wouldn't even want a cash app from him.
Because I was going to say that.
If I was struggling and he was the only one could pull me out, just let me struggle.
Well, because it would be like 10% of his overall income. And that would be, we're not cruel. I'm going to hell for that. I shouldn't have said that. But seriously, Takesha. We got to stop this, all right? And so, ladies and gentlemen, Takesha, wow, what a credible day, right?
Zeus, it's not funny. Zeus is not funny. I'm sick of him. He is obsessed with Kiki. You don't want Kiki. I keep giving you Takesha, but you're going to mess around and get Kiki.
Thank you. We don't need to do that. We're trying to save our democracy.
Let Kiki stay where Kiki is.
Yeah. Fair enough. Well, listen, Takesha, thank you. W Takesha again, all right. What we just did, ladies and gentlemen, it's definitely, I would say, wasn't political what we did, but it was considered official kingdom business because we have these characters, whether you want to believe it or not. I've been on this app for over 3 years. And over time, you get a reputation, and what you'll learn is you'll block one account, they'll come back with another account, and then you block that, and then they'll block it. So you're just like, okay, it is what it is. You know what you want to do it. We're going to do it right here. So I know these people, all right, and you would think these folks would have ran and said, I'm never going to talk to Big Zeus again. They come back here because we leave the kibble out there. These folks, they're starving, they're ugly, all right. These folks are starving, they're ugly, they don't got much support. Look at MAGA Queen. She was in here on MAGA Queen account 1. That one got in trouble. 2 got in trouble. 3 got in trouble. And guess where MAGA Queen is at right now? Right back here with account number 4. W Zeus. They cannot stop themselves. These people have zero self-control. And this is who Donald Trump looks for when he goes out and does. I mean, and this is what we're dealing with in America. These folks have no self-control at all. Stalker behavior to the highest core. If I don't like someone, I don't even pretend to. I don't even go around them. You all know that. If I don't like you, I don't even pretend to. W Zena Smith. Sheesh. Oh my goodness. Let's continue, ladies and gentlemen. Do we have any Trump supporters out there? No Tiny Tank Top Tim Tom. I don't need to hear from you again, all right? Seriously. Put a 1 in the chat if you're a Trump supporter, and I'll bring you right on up. Let's see. Trump is the clown. I don't pretend to either. I ignore you. Yeah, that's common sense. But these folks, ladies and gentlemen, I promise you, it's their misery. It's their insecurities. It's their low self-esteem. It's their lack of education that just keeps them running back to the Democrats. Liliana, come on up here. Uh-huh. Let's see. Who do we have next? Who do we have next? All right. I thought that was Stick to Ruler. Good morning. How are you doing, bro? Good morning. How are you?
I'm all right. How about yourself?
I'm all right. Still doing what I do. Been a minute. Oh, look at that, Liliana. Stop it.
Well, it's funny to me that that the way that they're doing everything, especially their clapbacks in the sense of, oh, you can't say that, oh, you can't do that. But I swore we were in the United States of America, are we not?
Yeah.
So we have the freedom of speech, do we not?
Right.
Is Donald Trump going around insulting everybody that he can?
Absolutely. He just got done calling Governor Gavin Newsom stupid.
Oh. So being honest, aren't they doing, in the sense of MAGA, aren't they doing what Donald Trump is doing?
Yes.
And they're living their best life, insulting people and doing everything else, and they think it's funny, right?
Mm-hmm. That's them hypocrites.
So why can't Takesha do it?
Yeah.
I mean, why
you know where I'm going.
Pass? Yeah. Why do they get a pass when it's somebody being talked about or when it's somebody being shunned? Why do they get a pass and Democrats don't? And or liberals or anybody else that they, say that they're not Americans or they're not. I don't even know what they say, to be honest. I don't know where they get the information from. But apparently it's got to be Donald Trump because that's the guy sending the U.S. military into democratic cities, as he likes to say.
Yeah. Good morning.
For no apparent reason.
So these people, what you're suggesting, Stick, is that they're a bunch of hypocrites.
Yeah, what I'm suggesting.
Oh, sorry.
They're playing victim. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No. I think there's a little bit of a delay, but please continue.
Yeah, I was just going to say that they're playing victim. They're acting like they're not doing anything. They throw rocks, put their hand behind their back, and point at the next guy.
Yeah.
Does that sound kind of oddly weird and truthful that your president will get up on the stage, say, hey, Biden didn't do this, Biden, but every time we turn around, he's pointing at Biden because he made whatever happened, messed up happen.
Yeah.
He is the guy that needs to be pointed at and looked upon and shunned.
Yeah. This is the hypocrisy, and this is why I start off my shows and I say, listen, I don't allow Trump supporters to be victims because I understand that that's what they do. They attack our Capitol on January 6th, and then they'll turn around and say, oh, the Justice Department has been weaponized against me. And it's like, no, you broke the law. And if you're the country or the party of law and order, then you should be able to deal with the consequences. Because they like to say to us, you do the crime, you do the time.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, for sure. And it seems like they don't want to do the time because every time I turn around, when they know they've done something wrong, they throw it out there. Hey, Trump, give me a pardon. Can I get a pardon?
Why do you need that if you didn't break the law?
Oh, yeah, right. So again, that's the party of hypocrites. That's the party of playing victim. It's obvious they're the fear mongers because that's the reason why the people at the border are being treated the way they're being treated.
Yeah.
So again, it's obvious. You just have to be woke.
Fair enough.
You have to have your senses at high alert. Really, they don't have to be high alert, but then you at least need to be alert because at the end of the day, they're not alert. They're not watching anything that they're doing. Again, it's a scene from a movie. Everybody has a mask on. The where the eye sockets go, they're off. As if she did it for Igor or somebody. They can't see anything, but they still want to do the raid.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Time after time. Let me see the warrant. What's your name? Hold on. You're grabbing me, but you don't know my name.
Yeah. This is what they're doing. What a sick situation they got us in. But you know what, Stick? I appreciate you, bro. All right. We're going to try to move
Yes,
it on.
sir.
All right. And I got to try to wrap it up. But, ladies and gentlemen, let's give Stick Derula a huge round of applause.
And you keep giving them the hell that you're giving them, Zeus. Keep giving them the lake of fire. Keep doing judgments. They don't like it. I'm glad that they don't like it. Thank you for the kingdom. Have a good day, sir.
All righty then, ladies and gentlemen. W. Stick Derula, no lies detected. Oh yeah, let's go. Let's see, who do we have? Donica, California. Good morning.
Good morning.
How are you? Welcome to the show.
Hi, I wanted to get up here for so long, but you're just so popular, I never make it.
Well, that's I don't know about that. I just think some days you just get it, and the other days it is what it is. But I'm glad.
I had a couple of thoughts. I joined late, so I don't know where you were pointing the ship today, but some of the comments are talking about, Obama deported a ton of people, and why is nobody mad at Obama? Was anybody in Obama's administration ripping families apart?
No.
And deporting sick children?
No.
And deporting pregnant women?
No.
And I mean, there's so many different contrasts. It's so easy for them to point in one direction and be very simple-minded, very closed-minded, because it's very easy to point at the black man.
Yeah.
And to see those.
You caught that. That's what it is. Pure racism.
And it's crazy because I never would have thought the day that I would have actually sat and agreed and been on the same kind of thought train as Candace Owens or Tucker Carlson. Because Rafael Cruz, not Ted Cruz, let's call him by his actual name so he doesn't forget that his parents were immigrants. Rafael Cruz forgets that he's in a position where he's supposed to represent the people. And has this strong loyalty to Donald Trump. And I never would have thought the day that I would have sat there and went, wow, Tucker Carlson has some sense.
Yeah.
Tucker Carlson is actually making some sense.
Yeah.
Because how do you not know a population of a country that you're seeking to attack and seeking to take full control of and obliviate? So, very interesting there. And it's very interesting that all of these people that supported Donald Trump are very quiet right now, because we were very firm on no new wars, very firm on, got to get the illegal people out of here, very firm on a Christian nation, bringing back values. There's a content creator on here that is constantly bringing Bible verses and trying to say that Democrats are the devil. And I think I sent you at the end, but I can drop you in here because I'd love for him to come up here and explain it to you, because when I got up and tried to speak to abortion, was very much so, well, that God will bring you to it, God will bring you through it.
Oh.
Well, that's not, there's no reason why some 14-year-old girl who's been SA'd by their dad should have to carry a child because you think that God brought her to that, or God will bring her. That's trauma.
Yeah.
That's not something that I would bat my eyes and go, well, it'll be okay in the end. I'm not going to bat my eyes at children sitting in these ICE detention centers and go, oh, well, they have a purpose. It's okay for them to be sitting like this. It's not.
Yeah.
So it's very hypocritical, and a lot of these people are starting to get silent and are starting to back out of these conversations because you can clearly see what they're doing is wrong. And
so you're sensing that these people they're not as supportive as Trump now like they were after the election, because remember they were talking crazy after the election. Oh yeah, we're gonna do this, we're gonna do that, we got a mandate. When was the last time we've heard them really out here promoting this so-called mandate? It's not here. There's no mandate.
Well, and there's so many things like, big on the COVID, the mask things. Okay, so ICE agents can walk around
Mr.
with
Deep, is
masks.
that the name of the guy? Mr. Deep, the so-called
Yep. I
Mr.
mean,
Deep, are you in here? Because we can get straight to the bottom of this, and this is why they love to weaponize Christianity and supporting Donald Trump. But when they get a dose of Big Zeus, they don't do that anymore. They know better. So yeah, Mr. Deep, if you're here, it's judgment time.
yeah, I mean, it's very interesting because they're very quick to say, well, I picked the lesser of the two evils, and Democrats this, Democrats that. I mean, if you start from just the principle of any of the things in the Bible, Donald Trump. I mean, we got in a thing about the Trump Bible. Like, well, Donald Trump has his name on the Bible, but what about Barnes and Noble because they distribute it? So it's there's points where it's like I can see it, but if you're picking the lesser of the two evils, Donald Trump is not anywhere of the
No,
lesser of the two.
he's the higher, the more of the two evils. If you want to play that game, because everything he does, as far as I'm concerned, is totally corrupt. He can't open his mouth without lying, and you just know if somebody has to do that, everything else is already shady.
Well, at this point, he's just sundowning. At this
Yeah.
point, I mean, we're talking like rambling for 20 and 30 minutes to not make any sense. I mean, we are sundowning, so we are in a state where it's not safe. He's putting us in these positions for wars. People are losing money out of their 401ks. You're not going to have medical. You're not going to have Medi-Cal or Medicaid. Like, you're not going to be able to, like, the transgender community makes up, what, less than 1% of the population, but that's where your focus is? Transgender people and reusable straws?
Yeah, well, because this is what happens. He taps into the spirit of hate that these folks got in their heart, and they just, as long as you give them someone to hate, they'll do anything he says, and they can't even understand that while they're doing that, he's robbing them blind, hook, line, and sinker, and they don't care.
It's sad because I'm a parent of a special needs child, and so it's quick for other people to say, well, that doesn't bother me, that doesn't affect me. I have to obviously look out for my child. And
Yeah.
To dismantle the Department of Education and allocate these funds and responsibilities to other areas of the government that have no idea what these children need. I mean, Linda McMahon doesn't even understand what these children what they need. I mean, she couldn't sit there and answer simple questions about the job she's supposed to be doing.
Amen. Because she doesn't know what she's doing other than worshiping Donald Trump. And it doesn't take a genius to know how to do that. It takes someone who's not a genius to do that. And this is what we're dealing with, a bunch of incompetent people who are all in their feelings, and all they want to do is smell Trump's dirty, disgusting diaper like Ray J. Nasty. Well, listen, Donica, all right? I gave you a follows, and hopefully you can share with me the information that I need in order to do an accurate assessment of this person out here using Jesus to try to make people worship Donald Trump, and then we'll do what we need to do, all right?
Oh, yeah, I would love to see you put him where he needs to go.
Yeah, fair enough. We'll have to, because we can't have folks out here doing that, all right? That's purely evil work, and they know it. Just like this knucklehead in my chat calling himself the anointed one, but he's not the anointed one unless he's talking about a prime candidate for hell. All right, W. Danica, thank you so much. No lies detected. Oh my goodness. Oh my gosh, ladies and gentlemen. Oh my goodness. Let's see, who do we got next? Oh my gosh, look at the time. Let's see. What is this? Trump has to clean up Biden's wars. WrestleMania. Come on up here. The mods pinned the comment. They won't. WrestleMania is clearly, you could put WrestleMania in a straight jacket. W to the mods. WrestleMania has nothing of value to add. Just randomly saying things that Russia told them to say. Dolphin, come on up here, Dolphin. How are you doing? You said you had something to share with me?
Yeah.
All right.
First of all,
yes. How
you
are
doing?
you? I'm all right. How about you?
I'm good. I'm good. Give me a second.
Good. Oh my God,
Hold
looking
on.
good.
Anti-Trump flag.
Yeah, there you go. Anti-Trump. We don't like them. W. Dolphin. They don't like it when you do that, because they think that you should be put in prison because of what you did. They think that. What do you got to say about that?
Literally, somebody came in my live the other day, was like, you're a traitor. You're going against the president. And I'm like, dude, stop.
Did they spell the word traitor right? Did they spell it right? Because some of them write it like you. Huh?
Their freedom of speech, their First Amendment right, their freedom of speech. And I'm going, this is exactly what it's protecting you from.
Wow.
Is the government.
Wow. Is that all they think about? The 2A and the freedom of speech. It's the same talking points, but yet they turn around and do the exact opposite for Donald Trump. These folks are hypocrites. I mean, at the highest order, an embarrassment to this nation.
So he's now they're going after the 2020 election again. Just to let you know, I checked Untrue Social at 9:35. You were already on, so I looked. If you don't mind, I'll just pop this up. Right here. 0 border crossings for the month for Trump versus 60,000 for sleepy crooked Joe Biden, a man who lost the 2020 presidential election by a landslide.
That's an inaccurate number. It's 8,725 border crossings. Where did he get 0 from?
Don't know.
Wow, he just lies like that. No one questions this guy? Wow.
Yeah, you should see what they're opening an investigation, an FBI investigation, all because the prosecutor was looking at him for making
crimes.
The song from Mar-a-Lago that the J6ers were singing.
Well, duh. If you make a song with a bunch of felons and then you use it to go run your cult, why wouldn't the FBI look into that? That makes sense.
Exactly. What they're like, they're to nail Trump. And I'm like,
Yes.
dude, I'm like, this is exactly what evidence is. Fudge.
Yeah. Wow.
All right. Anyways. So here we go. We'll just continue with this. Biden was grossly incompetent, and the 2020 election was a total fraud. The evidence is massive and overwhelming. A special prosecutor must be appointed. This cannot be allowed to happen again in the United States of America. Let the work begin. What this crooked man and his corrupt cronies have done to our country in 4 years is grossly indescribable. Make America great again. Oh, and to all y'all that are going off about the auto pen and the pardons. Guess what?
What's that?
A president doesn't even need to sign a pardon. All he has to do is utter the words.
Oh.
It doesn't even need to be signed.
There you go. Tell them, Dolphin, and they know this. They know this. This is why they're in deep trouble right now, because instead of focusing on the things that they really should be, like their energy bills that are supposed to be cut in half, right? Their gas prices, which are supposed to be down, they're focusing on ridiculous things. I do hope at this point, appoint the special counsel. Just go ahead. Make my day. Just do it. Show us all everything you could find out about President Biden at this point.
He hasn't done a single thing that he ran on. I'm gonna end the war in Ukraine and Russia before I even get elected. I'm gonna end it when I get in office. I'm gonna end it on day 1. Still hasn't happened. No new war. Israel and Iran popping off. Freaking war, literally in California.
Wow.
Let's see what else. Lower my energy prices.
Did he release the Epstein files? Did he release the Epstein files? Did he release those, Dolphin? The Epstein files?
Did not do that. Damn, didn't do that either.
Wow, no. Wow. We're still waiting for the DOJ to release those. I wonder why he didn't do it. Maybe he'll do it in 2 weeks. W to the chat.
I just want to say one other thing in regards to everybody saying we're looking toward our tax cut. See, the TCJA the first time only gave us a 1 to 2% tax cut, right?
Yeah.
Gave the rich a 14% tax cut. But see, what you guys aren't realizing is the 55% tariffs that he's putting on us. So you aren't saving shit. Y'all don't know math.
Gotcha, Dolphin.
Taxes by the little tax cut that he's going to give you. You're not, because you're being charged every day for the things you buy.
Tell him, Dolphin, and we keeping it clean. We got to keep it clean.
Oh, did I swear?
Yes, you did. We caught you, Dolphin. We got you. All right, but you know what? It came from a good place. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we got to give Dolphin. I get the anger and I get the frustration. Because look at what Donald Trump has done to this great country of ours. He's ruined it. He's convincing, because what you were saying is this: even if he does put a tax cut in the big, beautiful, I don't call it that, the nasty bill. We're just going to call it the nasty.
The big bag of bull.
Yeah, big bag of bull. How about that? The tariffs make up for it in ways you couldn't even imagine. Cut low here and just do a very, very high amount here. It's basically, it's making money hand over fist, and his supporters are too simple-minded to even realize it. So thank you for pointing that out. Seriously, W. Dolphin.
Exactly. What was it? Keisha, I believe, said it.
Yeah.
It's like how they were all cheering about being taxed. I'm
Yeah.
like, dude, they were literally cheering about them taking your money away from you.
Wow. Well, you know what? We're going to help make them understand at some point, and that's why I think we're on the verge of watching the wheel of MAGA snap, Dolphin. All right, it's coming, because I can't wait until they start crying in these streets, and they're going to be, a lot of them are going to lose their shelter, because shelter is one of those things you need. They're going to lose their shelter. They're not going to be able to eat, and these are Trump supporters I'm talking about specifically, because they're going to get kicked off of Social Security. They're not going to have any of their Medicaid or anything like that, Medicare, and they're going to suffer. Well,
I'm on disability.
Well, you're going to be fine. We're going to do all we can to try to help, one another out in those moments. But the supporters out there, they don't love each other. They hate each other. And their dear leader is going to make sure they don't have anything when he's done with them. And this is what's about to happen. All right. So, again, W. Dolphin. All right, Dolphin. We got.
Hold on. Hey, Tiny Tank Top Tim down there. I've always wanted to say something to him.
Oh.
You want to sit there and say people aren't coming after you. I will come after you. You are a disgusting human being. You remind me of that thing that is currently in office, and I will dehumanize him, because he does nothing but dehumanize everybody else in this country.
Hey, man, no lies detected. Thank you so much, Dolphin. And so there you go. Thank you.
All right, I'll give you a weed. Let me know when you're gonna drop me.
All right, I got you. All right, ladies and gentlemen. So as you can see, ladies and gentlemen, oh my goodness, it's been an incredible. Do we have any Trump supporters left? I just want to double check before I wrap things up. All right, because Big Zeus, honestly, ladies and gentlemen, I do have to get up out of here. So we've basically annihilated MAGA this morning. That's the real part, right? We get out here, we tell the truth, and we shame the devil no matter what. Oh my goodness! Hold on one second. All right, Diava, yes, you would like to say something. What do we got?
Hey, I just wanted to throw something out there. Also, I don't know if you know about the Ro Khanna and Tom Massey bill, the War Powers resolution that they have.
I've heard of it. Yeah.
Well,
what's the latest?
If there's no committee action, it has to be voted on in 15 days, and that's why I think he's waiting 2 weeks.
Oh.
That's my take.
Oh, okay.
Because
See?
it's saying that he cannot, that the president cannot take any action on Iran without congressional approval. And so I think that's just my personal thoughts. Just wanted to throw that out there, that might be what he's waiting for. So
2 weeks. There's always. Okay, there's another angle. I didn't think about that. So there you go. W. Diava, ladies and gentlemen. No lie. Thank you for bringing that up. See, this is what we want. We want to get these ideas and opinions and facts out here, all right, so that folks can actually do their own independent research, and we just don't believe what Donald Trump says on his social media platforms.
Right, because typically 2 weeks means never. So, but I think maybe this time he's waiting to see what Congress is going to do with that War Powers resolution. And for Tiny Tank Tom Tim, when he was saying you don't ever back your facts up, I think what he really wanted to say, due to his obsession with you, is that he wanted you to back that ass up.
Woo! I've heard a lot of things, Diava, W. Diava. That's so funny.
That's the first thing that popped in my head when he's like, "You don't back anything up." I'm like, "No, I know what he wants to back up."
In his 2016 Toyota Tacoma. Wow.
But America first, right?
Right, not the Toyota, but it's America first. Tiny Tank Top Tom, you've never ceased to amaze me in terms of just how terrible things are where you're at. It's a sad thing to do. Please, just stay off the internet, seriously. W. Diava, ladies and gentlemen.
Thanks, Zeus.
You're welcome. You're welcome. Okay, hold on. I forgot. I wanted to hear from my brother Q Dog. Welcome, Q Dog. You said you had something real quick. It's Friday. You know, we survived another week.
I tell you, these folks, they want to demonize, and they want to say, like we always say, they switch up N-word to Democrats or whatnot.
That's true.
But I have a message for you, MAGA and Blagga. You all want to demonize colored folks, but when it comes to Black History Month, that was originally created by my fraternity brother Carter G. Wilson, stay your butts at work. Don't take off work. Keep working through the clock. Don't even worry about taking that holiday. Juneteenth, keep working. Don't even worry about that. When you go to your refrigerator, think about that was created by a Black person. There's a long list of inventors that y'all take advantage of on a day-to-day basis, just turning on your lights.
Yeah.
That was created by a Black person.
You hear that, Trash Bait?
Your home security system. Just ironing your wrinkled clothes. Tiny Tank Top Tim with your little 5 t-shirts from Walmart. That was created by a Black person. Cutting your little dried out lawn in front of your house, if you have a house.
He doesn't.
That was created by a Black person.
That part.
Simple things.
Everything. Doorknob. Yeah.
Simple things. Air conditioning. Keep your behind in the heat then. Don't turn on your air conditioner.
The traffic lights, yeah.
The traffic light, that was created by a Black person. So the next time you think about it, oh yeah, when y'all wash your little funky behinds, lotion and soap, that was created by a Black person. So the next time y'all have y'all little spew about, black folks and brown folks, by the way,
we lazy, they say. We
if
lazy.
You watching your TV, your little flat screen TV, throw it out the window, because flat screen TVs were created
filament,
by
phones, computers, combs. Keep going.
Color TVs was color television was created by Latinos. So if you decide that, it's a fire in my house, don't use the fire extinguisher. That was created by a Black person.
You hear this?
Think about a lot of the stuff that you spew this rhetoric every day, and you want to demonize folks of color, but y'all utilize everything that we create. You want to try to make it your own.
And then take off Juneteenth. It's their holiday.
No, eat your little cheese sandwich and get back to work. They making memes right now.
Yeah.
With these folks, putting brick laying and picking strawberries. Talk about Trump, bring them back. We'll pay them double. No. Get your little behinds like Trash Bait. That probably smell like hot dog water.
He does.
Get your behind out there and
old.
Pick them flowers and pick them cherries and pick all the fruit.
Yeah.
Go ahead and do it yourself.
Yeah.
Don't use no soap.
He don't like soap. He doesn't like soap. Trash Bait doesn't like soap. He uses vinegar when he showers. He told me that. That's disgusting because he tells himself it's apple cider vinegar and it's supposed to, purify him, and so that's what he uses to. And you just sit there, you say, where do these people learn this stuff from? Because, see, there's just such thing as going too far with the conspiracies. But Trash Bait showers with apple cider vinegar. And that's probably something I shouldn't have said on TikTok. But he knows that I'm telling the truth. WQ Dog, W Zeus.
Yeah. One more thing. Don't use the bathroom. Y'all talk about going into different bathrooms. Don't use the bathroom. The toilet was created by a Black person. Don't use it.
Yep. Well, so Trash Bait, in other words, stick to doing what the animals do.
Yeah.
All right.
Stay your behind back in the woods.
Where you belong, as a matter of fact. And I hate to do that to the bears and the lions out there, the mountain lion. But yeah, Trash Bait, you're worse than an animal at this point. Showering with vinegar and not even using the toilet. Man, I'm surprised you even show up every day to let us know this is how you're living. This is embarrassing. And you know what? There's no amount of support for Trump you can give that actually can help us overlook. Yeah, you voted for Trump, but sir, You're seriously deranged. You're out of your mind. Thank you,
So,
Q Dog, for bringing that up. WQ
no
Dog.
doubt, bro. No doubt. Tiny Tank Top 10. Tiny Tank Top 10. You beg to come up here every day, bro.
He does.
And the first thing out of your mouth is, Takesha, we know what you want. We know what you want. But you ain't gonna get it. You can't even get it from the person that possibly lives from you. Which, that's your problem. You need to go get you some. Maybe you can stay off of TikTok and quit begging Zeus every day, to come up. Soon as you get dropped, you begging to come right back up. Dude, go get you some. Make that a mission this weekend. Maybe we won't see you for a couple weeks.
Yeah. But you know what? I'll say this. Whatever you're doing to yourself, just keep it to yourself, because we know there's no options. I've already tried. We tried, Q Dog. I said, are there any women out here that think he's, and every single woman in here said absolutely not. So the only option is himself. And so whatever you do with yourself, just keep that to yourself, but take care of it, because we don't need to deal with this any longer. Seriously.
We know, bro. The only people that had each other in the Three Stooges was themselves. Curly from the Three Stooges. Sit your behind down. And matter of fact, why don't you just go and hook up with MAGA Queen? Because her teeth match the wooden panels on her wall.
Oh,
Maybe y'all can have a love connection together.
Well, I can bridge the love if there needs to be. MAGA Queen, if you're interested
we can make that love connection happen. You know what I'm saying? Just make sure that when you kiss her, you don't get no splinters in your mouth.
Well, yeah, see, I don't like to do that. I like to stick to policy, but Tiny Tank Top Tim Tom and MAGA Queen, if y'all need me to, broker a relationship, I can totally do that. I'll set aside the politics to help you two work things out, all right? But you got to be willing to be honest, all right? WQ Dog. We solved the big mystery in the kingdom. They just don't know how to admit they're in love. All right, and I think this is where we're at right now. So we'll deal with that. But all right, brother, I got to get up out of here. Ladies and gentlemen, WQ Dog. Yes, all right.
Keep them in the rotation, bro, because they the comedy for us.
Yeah.
When they come up, they are extreme comedy. We don't even have to go to Def Comedy Jam. Just bring them up.
Fair enough. All right. Fair enough. WQ Dog, ladies and gentlemen, no lies detected. Seriously. This is interesting. Hold on. This might be a little something. All right. Okay. I think. Okay. I thought I saw conservative Democrat decide to request, but I think he'd made a different decision. So, ladies and gentlemen, we got to get up out of here. Happy Friday. Thank you to each and every single one of you who tuned in this morning to listen to this amazing and incredible show. We did a lot of things today. Oh my gosh, from Caroline Levitt all the way to Tiny Tank Top Tim Tom. What an incredible show. You all deserve a huge round of applause. But before we get up out of here, I got to give one last round of, you guessed it, booze and shame, and you know exactly who this goes out to. This goes out to all the Zeus haters out there, and these are not just my haters, these are also your haters. They get on TikTok every day and just do an outstanding job, honestly, embarrassing themselves and their community. Ladies and gentlemen, let's send them to hell one last time. Yes, have a great weekend.
Silence, you MAGA demon.
We're out of here. Take care. W. Marissa. Have a great weekend. We came and we slayed. WJTJ Creation. Scorpion, thank you. Jamila, my sister. Thank you. Wow. You never know. Wow. It really does mean a lot, you all. Seriously. But you all, you know what the bigger thing is? We have to continue to resist the Trump administration at all levels. shots. W Little Hawks. Cena Smith. LA Marathon. Let's go. Never surrender. The beautiful Ange. Thank you, Ange. Brandon. Isn't that amazing, Ange? You know, it's like, you know, dynamic duel TikTok. If you think about it, Cena, conservative Democrat, knock it off. You don't ever want to be. You're not serious. These people aren't serious. W. Rick. Drill, baby, drill. Okay. Thank you, Aaron. Oh yes, Triple H and Eugene. Who's the most handsome, Eugene? Seriously. Me. Tiffany Speaks. Thank you. Scorpion Annie. We did another week, and we got MAGA on the defensive right now. They don't know what the heck they're doing. As a matter of fact, I can tell you they don't know what they're doing, all right? So what we'll do is we'll go ahead and get started, right, Ange? And you know what this is? Drill, baby, drill. Takesha 2028. Oh, y'all really want to get...
You know she's going to ban fracking.
Thank you. Thank you.
You know, she was against fracking, against all this stuff, and then all of a sudden, about a year and a half
Tiny
ago,
Tank Top
she was
Tim
getting
Tom, he
killed
can't
in the
handle
polls.
this.
She said, I like fracking very much. Look, they always go back to
What they want.
They always go back. She can't help it. She's a radical left Nazi. She can't help it.
Thank you.
But we're going to end that, and we will frack, 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 and drill, baby, drill. We're going to drill, baby, drill. We're going to be drilling so deep. We're going to be, for these guys, we're going to drill.
Yes, we're
take
proud
out
of Gavin.
So much money. We're going to pay
Be
down
safe,
our
you
debt.
too.
We're going to lower
Want me
the
to-
taxes.
Lower your taxes.
Insane asylums. You know, they go crazy when I say the late, great Hannibal Lecter. Drill, baby, drill. We're going to frack, frack. Drill, there's a frack, frack, frack. There's a baby, there's a blast of your hair.
Hey!
You know she's going to bang. You know she's going to bang, kid.
Let's go.
Up in there, she was against stuff, against all the stuff. All the stuff.
Let's go.
Everybody here to Africa.
When she was getting killed in the pack, she said, I like fracking very much. Look, they always go back to what they want. They always go back. She can't help it. She's a radical.
She can't help it.
It's okay to be that kind of radical, okay? Because that's the good kind you want, all right? All right? That's the one you say, oh, wait, what you doing tonight? I'll be back, all right? Because that's the good radical. We're gonna
take out
so much money. We're gonna pay down our debt. We're gonna lower your taxes.
insane asylum.
You know they go crazy when I say a proud radical. Go to frack. Drill, baby, drill like it's Hannibal Lecter. Hey. Hey, gonna drill, baby, drill. We're gonna drill, baby, drill. Here it goes.
Insane asylums.
Wow.
You know, they go crazy when I say
What?
The late great Hannibal Lecter.
Oh, the late great?
They say, why would he mention Hannibal?
Yeah, why would you
Lecter?
mention Hannibal Lecter?
We're gonna lower your taxes.
Oh, that
Deep insane asylums.
Okay.
You know, they go crazy when I say
What?
the late great Hannibal. Drill, 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 baby, drill, with a frack, frack, frack. Drill, baby, drill, like it's Hannibal Lecter. Drill, baby, drill, we go.
Lower your taxes.
Deep insane asylums.
Hey.
You know, they go crazy.
What I say? The late great Hannibal. Drill, 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 baby, drill.
We're gonna be drilling. Drill, we're gonna take that Lecter. Drill, baby, drill,
Like it's Hannibal Lecter. Drill, baby, drill like it's Hannibal Lecter time. Deep insane asylums. You know, they go crazy when I say, now how much debt you got, all right? Because seriously, I can help you with that. Oh, what'd he say? No, he can't help you. Tiny Tank Top, Tim Top, he don't got nothing. He only got a 2016 Toyota. Come on, why don't you come hang out with me? What we're going to do is we're going to pay off all your debt. We're going to lower your taxes. Because guess what? We got so much liquid gold underneath our feet. And all we got to do is drill to get to it. And then after that, we're going to do a little bit of fracking. Leave Tiny Tank Top Tim alone. He ain't got nothing. Trust me. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I got to get up out of here. Take care and stay safe out there in those TikTok streets. Don't